All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. In this case, guys, I have a negative 32 is equal to a negative 8w. Now, on this one, guys, we're doing multiplication, right? If I take a look in this case, guys, at the variable and the coefficient, which is these numbers here, this term, they're actually multiplying, right? I don't really see it in this case, but we know that this here is the same thing as saying negative 8 times w, right? That's multiplication. We don't see it there. It's not applied, but we know in this case that that's multiplication. I talked about in this case, guys, inverse of multiplication is division. So that's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to go ahead and split my equation. And because this here is multiplying, the negative 8 is multiplying, I'm going to go ahead and do the inverse and divide both sides by a negative 8. Divide both sides by a negative 8. So first step in this case, guys, is to divide both sides by negative 8. All right, doing so in this case, guys, we would move on to simplifying. I know that negative 8 divided by a negative 8 is going to give me a 1. If you guys are not sure, right, let's go ahead and check it out. Negative 8 divided by a negative 8 is going to be a 1, right? A number divided by itself is always going to be a 1, right? In this case, guys, from there, if I do negative 32 divided by a negative 8, that should actually give me a positive 4, right? Negative divided by a negative is a positive. So my answer in this case, guys, is actually a positive 4. Step 2 in this case, guys, is to simplify. Simplify. All right. Let's move on to D in this case, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to D. Same idea in this case, guys. Two sides to the equation. I have a 6u is equal to a negative 8. Once again, the operation in between 6 and u is multiply, right? Inverse of multiplication is division. So let's go ahead and divide that out on both sides. We know in this case doing so would actually give me u is equal to a negative 3. Right? So the step there in this case, guys, was to divide both sides by 6. Simplify it out, it gives me a negative. All right? Negative divided by a positive is a negative. Next one in this case, guys, is division. Right? This is E, this is division. And I have 2 is equal to t over a negative 9. All right. Now, on this one here, guys, once again, the goal is to leave t alone. I want to go ahead and leave my variable alone, right? Leave the variable alone. Only way for us to do this in this case, guys, is to get rid of that negative 9. Now, right now, there's actually division happening between t and negative 9, right? Only way for us to get rid of the negative 9 when it's dividing is to multiply by a negative 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by a negative 9 and multiply both sides by a negative 9, right? Doing so in this case, guys, would actually create a negative 9 over a negative 9, which gives me a 1, right? So this cancels. I'm left in this case with t is equal to negative 9 times 2, which is a negative 18. Answer in this case, guys, is negative 18. And our step was to multiply by negative 9. Multiply by negative 9. All right. Here's F. Same idea in this case, guys. Same idea. Isolate the x, right? I want to go ahead and isolate the x. And the operation that's happening between the negative 3 and the x is division. Inverse of division is multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by negative 3, right? And what we do to one side, we repeat to the other. So I should be multiplying the other side as well by a negative 3. I know in this case that a negative times a negative is a positive, so I should get a positive result there. And 3 times 4 would actually give me a 12. So my answer in this case, guys, is x equals 12. X